Okay. So I'm going to... Right, it says we are streaming according to that.
Really?
Are we live? Please do not swear.
I'm going to check that.
Let me shut
I've
down my
not
OBS.
even got a note. Oh yeah, I've got you. I've just got a notification saying that yes, there is stuff happening on your channel.
Okay, well, I think we're live, guys. So I don't. Obviously, this is a bit of a last-minute change of address. So good evening, all. Hopefully, you can hear us now. I am going to open up my own channel so I can see your chat, see what's going on. So if you could just bear with me 1 second while we get the guys in. Hopefully, guys, if you want to, since we're live, we've got 3 watching. So be interested to know who those 3 are.
Yeah, it all seems to be working.
Yeah, I can hear the audio fine as well. That's great. So thanks, Phil. Dom, I think we'll have a little bit of work offline in the week, me and you, and we'll get you sorted. Yeah. So that's all good.
Up again.
Yeah, I think if we turn the clock back maybe 6 months, Chris, when we first started doing it, do you remember our first couple of videos?
That's what I said to Dom when you went off to go and try and sort it out. That we had so many teething problems, didn't we?
Yeah, and it's never straightforward straight off the bat. So
no, exactly.
So good evening all. Now, you might notice that there's a message up on the chat there that's probably from the last video we did as well. So that hi guys, how many Nagaro Blues are there in that isn't anything to do with tonight's chat. So I'm going to try to take that. So apologies about that. But for those of you that are just sort of filtering in, good evening all. As you're probably aware, if you're here, you know I am Andy Charger of the Andy Charger channel. Above me, probably I've got Dom and Carl Chris. Now this is really Dom's show tonight, so I'm going to try and keep quiet and let Dom do the leading, even though it's been hijacked on my channel. So
that's all right. I'm just trying to get around the internet quickly and just try and draw everyone to it. It'd be nice to get. This is what I was trying to do. The whole thing was trying to get everyone from all the channels onto each other's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to make us, and I think that's testament to what we've been doing. I would say more over the last few months, but for the majority of this year, I think we've been trying to sort of drive the attention to the Audi TT across all our sort of channels and groups. And I think most people know who we are now, particularly at the events. They come up and say hi. So it's good to know that we are spreading the word and the love for the Audi TT. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it helped as well when we did our the show a couple of weeks ago. We all have different inputs, and everyone sort of was like, "Oh, I really enjoyed you 3 being there." All that kind of stuff, which was nice.
Yeah,
because we all have our own different sort of take on it,
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I think it was. I mean, last weekend was really good for that. I think it was. And I found last weekend there were people that I think all 3 of us have been speaking to maybe offline or have met before that the others haven't met, and there's people that none of us have met before, and then there was people that all 3 of us knew. So it's a massive. It's a massive sort of introduction, particularly for people that haven't been there before to any of these meets. I think last weekend meet was great. What was your take from last weekend, guys? What did you take away as I
took away a couple of ice creams and a bacon baguette. But no,
face full of cake.
And the carrot cake. You can't forget that. But no, there's a lot of cars that we've seen before, but obviously a lot of new faces, a lot of new cars that we haven't seen before, which is always good to see, isn't it? And it was a great location as well. It was a banging weekend. It was a really good meet.
It was arguably one of the best meets I've been to. Just I think because it was so casual. The vibe was really nice. The place was really nice. There was no rush to go. You could have stayed there all day if you wanted.
Yeah.
There was facilities. It was just, and there were some stunning cars. Probably some of the best cars I've seen, which has made me sort of change my direction a little bit.
Yeah.
With what I'm doing,
I think for me, it was because I'm all about keeping it standard, and even though there are some cracking cars there, but I think I've seen possibly the best standard car I've yet seen in best condition.
Which one?
Was
there was a couple.
Well, there was, but for me, the one that really stole the show. I know that we all love the Aviator car that was highly customized with the Porsche wheels, but for the standard car that really sort of blew my mind, and it was a father and son team that had 1 each, and that was Lawrence. I mean, Lawrence is 225. That he's had a bit of a respray work on it, but it's immaculate. I mean, it's a real concourse show car. I think now it's in great condition, and his dad's green one with that air filter where he's cut the air filter off the air filter box.
Oh, amazing!
That was a really real talking point. And I think
it was your face when I said, "Go and have a look," and you're like, "Go and have a look at what?" Walked over and went,
"Yeah." But then he said, "Oh, there's no air," because then they had a discussion between them about what was under that lid,
whether there was a box or not.
Yeah, and he said, "There's no box." He said, "No, there is a box. There was no box. It's just a lid." But
I've done that much to my car before that I forget what I've done.
Yeah, but I love that. I love the fact that it was, that it's your eyes are immediately drawn to that, but underneath that there's nothing there. But that was a great car, and that sound system as well in that one car that I think you've seen that before, with the speakers in the back of it. I mean, we know Big Chris's car's loud, but that one with the subs and the speakers in the back of that one parts at the very back. I can't remember who it belonged to.
The silver one with the red build. Yeah.
That had serious sound system in it. So
that was I mean, I don't know how it doesn't even pop the tailgate open, or you sort of drive down the road with the back balance in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely. Definitely a bit of stuff that.
Yeah. So we've got a bit of chat going on in the stream. So guys, I mean, we want to apologise really for our slow start tonight. So,
technicals.
My bad.
Yes, which is streaming live is, I think we'll all agree, it's one of the most difficult things to do because you're literally like juggling so many things at once. So it is quite tricky. But yeah, Ben, to your comment about all 3 channels at once, I think that would be a disaster waiting to happen. It's hard enough doing it on one. So yeah. So
yeah, I'm going to throw in me live towel. I think it's a nightmare.
Never throw it in.
Absolute nightmare.
So So what, guys in the chat, for those of you at the meet last week, what did you think of Occam Bites? I mean, the good thing about it was that there were still people that were local that obviously go there to walk their dogs and just have a run or whatever, and there was still room for those guys. Still room for those guys, which was great. So it wasn't just we didn't dominate, but we still had over 60 cars. So there's still room for a few more if we want them.
Yeah, there's actually another car park as well there. You know that?
Yeah.
Oh, is there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the only one. There is another one. So further down the road, if you were to go past, so obviously you come off the main road and then on the left, if you carry on about 100 meters, there's another car park for probably another 50 cars. People just prefer the top one because of the food.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's
why we've done it.
And last something because the amount of TTs.
Oh, I see that we just got a comment in the chat there asking a technical question. So from Toons Erasmus, he says, "Hi guys, what would cause a vibration when turning sharp? Happens more when the car is cold."
There's a few options. Yeah. It's a vibration when turning sharp. So I mean, realistically, how often are we talking? Fast, slow? How hard are you turning in? The car's just trying to kick the ABS in because you're trying to lose it, or what we talking about? A bit more information there.
Yeah, I mean, if it was noise rather than vibration, I'd say wheel bearings are a classic case for that. I know I've had some noisy wheel bearings in the past, but yeah, it could be anything. I mean, anything could.
It's a tough one, that. Yeah. But yeah, a bit more information. Is it rotational? You know what I mean? Because it says here, as car warms up, vibration is less. But
yeah,
that's unless you've got maybe any gearbox needs a service. But I doubt that's. It's not really a road turning. Can be very few things.
Oh yes, Stevens put broken spring.
Oh, turning at a 4-way stop.
Yeah.
Could have a Haldex issue.
Yeah.
But then I don't know why it would do it when it's not only cold.
Yeah.
Is it front wheels or rear wheels? The vibration comes from.
When a car warms up, it disappears.
That's a very odd fault.
Yeah. It's very hard. It's one of those things you need to drive it yourself to really sort of.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge.
Yeah,
exactly. You'll just be guessing.
Good, yeah, what's good in these chats is when people raise questions in here. Obviously, it's not just the 3 of us that are contributing. It's great that you're all helping each other in that chat as well. It's really good to see because I think there's lots of options coming through there. So
sounds like it's from the rear diff. Yeah. So I would say, you're bang on, Andy. Yeah, 30 heads are better than 3. Rear diff. I would say you probably need a Haldex service. That or your earth straps failed, maybe, because that's quite a common one.
Yeah, I done mine the earth strap.
You did. And you told me to do mine, and I need to do mine as well, don't I?
I've actually got an Earth strap for you as well.
Oh, have you? Oh, right.
Yeah, I ordered a couple of them.
Well, I'm coming out to your house then, because I need to pick that up. I definitely need it. I definitely need to do that. So,
hello everyone joining in. Nice to see you. Sorry, it wasn't on my channel.
Yeah, maybe it's the driver. I think that's a bit of a harsh thing, Stephen. Although we could have got you in here as well, couldn't we, Stephen? Now we're back on my channel. We could have got you in for the.
Come join.
Yeah, you know how to get in, Steve. You know the link is. Chuck yourself in.
So how this works.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
It might work, but it's still worth doing a service.
It sounds like you've definitely got something wrong. Try unplugging your Haldex and see if it still does it.
Yeah, take the fuse out. Easy way to do it.
Yeah, pull the fuse. Driver's side. Well, if in England, driver's side. Pull the cover. Look on there, and it says, and you can pull it out, and then it should. If it goes away, you've got an issue there somewhere.
I could tell you off the top of my head what number fuse it is. Or I did know, but
I did know as well. I was just trying to think.
I want to say it's 22, but I don't hold me to that. I've got a feeling it's 22, but I might be wrong. But you can look on the back there. Oh yeah, Wayne's put I can buy it. As I said before, a lot more imperfect cars came. It's really nice. Yeah, that's a great thing, Wayne. It's as well as having the absolute, pristine cars there. It's good to see so many cars that are being worked on. Whatever stage of their journey they're on. Some people, are doing work on the bodywork, as we know. I know Wayne, you've got some bodywork you've got underway, and there was a little silver one parked next to you as well, but belonged to I think it was Zach that owned that one. Did you see that one, guys? It needed It had a body kit on it at some point before he had it.
Oh yeah, I did see that one.
And then it just been stripped off. So all the edges of the wheel arches were all needed some attention.
Had some sort of like weird sort of like residue, sort of something over the arches, didn't it?
Yeah. So it'd been needed a bit of work. But he was new to the TT and only a few weeks, and he was and that's what's good. It's something that I was not really aware of was the turnover of the cars. So you've got people all the time that are becoming TT owners, and they say, "Oh, I've wanted a TT for 20 years, and I've finally got a TT." And so there's people still coming to the scene. Even now, it's not like just the diehards that have been in it for years. Everyone, people are still coming. And then there's other people that are leaving the scene, and then they say on Facebook, "Oh, I'm selling my car. I'm really going to miss having the car, but I need to sell it for X, Y, Z reason." But then you find a couple of years down the line, they come back. They buy another one. Oh, I couldn't. There's a lot of that as well, where people say, "Oh, I couldn't stay away. I love my Mark 1 and I want to get back into it. I love my Mark 2." So it's definitely a popular scene at the moment.
I think once you've had one as well, you know what they're like, and then when you buy this practical car, you do go through those years of having to be practical and whatever, and maybe it's the cost aspect, because obviously running a second car, as we all know, is expensive.
Yeah.
Especially your third, your fourth, and your fifth. And it's one of those, isn't it? And then suddenly you can afford them later on in life, and you look and they're only like £2,000, £3,000, £4,000, which when you had one for 4, they were probably 5, 10, 15. Definitely.
Yeah. I see that. So K for Man there's put for the mate. It was my first and really enjoyed it. Finally knew before it happened. Mine was the A-Vote on the Porsche rims. Oh, Carl, your car's amazing. Yeah, we all agreed on that. Yeah,
that's a nice one, isn't it?
Very, very nice.
I mean, it was just generally nice that people were just bringing their TTs, whatever state they're in. It doesn't matter. We don't judge. A TT's a TT for us, and it's good to talk to people and see what they are doing with them and what they have done to them. So it's all good. It's all good.
I've had a few messages recently where people said, "Oh, when I get mine ready, I'll come down." And I'm like, no. If it's road legal and you drive it daily, bring it. Park next to mine. I'll bring the worst one I have, which is obviously a selection. And they're all pretty rough. They're all 10-footers. Apart from the red one, actually, that's really nice. That's broken. But yeah, it's not, honestly, I know the cameras lie, and obviously we can all agree to this, can't we? That you walk around with a video camera, you make everything look amazing, you take pictures, they look amazing. As soon as you get within, say, 4 foot, so you're literally like right up, get me phone, you're like right up to it like this, then you can see the imperfections. But we do it because A, obviously you want to see the whole car. B, it's nice for everyone to see it and share it and that. But they're all 21-year-old cars.
Yeah.
And they have their imperfections. There is a couple perfect ones there, don't get me wrong. There is. But for the most part, everyone could point out at least 5 things they're not happy with as an owner.
Absolutely, all day long, all day.
Even
long.
on the newer stuff, Chris?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, even
we all
on
own old cars, but you've obviously got a Mark II and stuff. So
yeah, on the Mark II,
sure
I'm not 100% happy with the paintwork on it. A little bit. Do you know? So I find the seats on a Mark II, the bolsters wear more than the Mark I, and it's a newer car.
I have to say, sorry, Dom.
No, go on.
No, I was just saying that. Talking of bolsters on seats, from owning cars in the late 80s and 90s, sort of hot hatches they didn't tend to have an awful lot of leather in them. They would tend to be more like cloth seats, like my 205. The bolsters used to wear so much, and I think it's because you were having to climb in and out, and you literally rub the seat. And I find the Audi, because they're so low, that when I get in and out of the Audi, I'm tending to rub that bolster both on the seat and the upper part. And I'm thinking, well, if I'm doing it, everyone else has been doing it for the last 20 years of its life. And those seats are pristine. So whatever they're made out of, they're obviously built to last. Because 20 years down the line, they're still going strong.
Yeah, so on my Mark II, the upper one has started to like make itself a little hole now, whereas the Mark I hasn't, and the Mark I's done more miles. It's a lot older. So, yeah, I just think the Mark I seats are just built out of a better material.
Yeah, I think it's a better quality material. Exactly. There is still some rough ones. I've still had a couple with holes in and whatnot. But for the most part, out of all the ones I've had, I mean, the Noggy, when I got it, had 170-something thousand miles on it, and that wasn't in a bad state. The other one I picked up recently, that's the same. Similar mileage, no issues.
Yeah, good. So we were going to talk about... this is the only thing we're all like talking about.
Go on, mate. You go.
You put a hand up. If we were using Teams, we could put a hand up to talk, couldn't we? No, I was going to say, so we've obviously had a great weekend at Ockenbites, and we've still got a few meets lined up, haven't we? And we're talking about bringing Ockenbites back. So should we talk Ockenbites 2, or should we talk Quattrophenia next, guys?
Ooh, let's do it in. I'll tell you what, we'll do Quattrophenia last because then later on, because obviously if everyone's on here, they're likely to be on here for a while. So we'll discuss the upcoming stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So no. I tell you what, actually, do Quattrophenia now because that's the most important. If they're watching the stream at this part,
that's the next one, isn't it?
Later. Yeah. Of course.
So let's talk about that. So I wonder. I can't put my. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. You know what I'm going to do, don't you, guys?
Yep.
Right. So while we talk about Quattrophenia, so what is Quattrophenia? Chris, do you want to sort of give a background about what we did earlier this year and what we got planned?
Right. So Quattrophenia is where we are going to do a London to Brighton TT run. So Andy and myself, we went up to... Where did we go?
Wandsworth Common. We went to, Chris?
Went to Wandsworth Common, but we started at another place, didn't we? What's it called?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
John Archer Way.
That's it, John Archer's Way.
Yeah.
And so there we go. So yeah, we went up to John Archer's Way. We've done a little test run all the way down to Brighton, just doing a little trial of the route, and we've done a video on that. And just to sort of check it out, we got up a stupid o'clock to go and do that as well, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, if I sit back far enough, it'll text him as well. So we are obviously it's coming up, guys. It's not even 2 weeks away, so it's 2 weeks yesterday. So here we go. So Saturday the 10th of September. Look at that. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That is pretty good, mate.
Wandsworth. Way. So the postcode is SW18 2TQ. So when Chris and I went there was like not a lay-by, but almost like parking, like street parking on one side of the road in front of I think it's called the Queen Victoria building. Yeah. It's a big, really sort of like Gothic-y looking building there. So if we can park up along there, get there for 9 o'clock, we'll leave on the dot and, no stragglers. So, but if you are sort of running a bit late and you're still heading up there, we want to get down there nice and promptly because we want to, get our buckets and spades out and enjoy the seaside. But we also...
So what time are we heading off? What time are we leaving?
9 o'clock, I think we're going to start off. So
we'll roll, yeah?
From Wandsworth at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, roll at 9.
A few people have mentioned they're going to try and meet us along the route because I think there's a lot of people in the south that are either coming from like Red Hill direction and other places. So I think if you want to jump on, so the rough route we're going to do is we're going to head down to Red Hill first off. Then we're going to go down to Copthorne. Now, there's a big roundabout, the Copthorne Hotel roundabout. And it has, and I'm going to try and, between now and then, I am going to try and speak to those guys, because it'd be nice if they do some breakfast. Maybe we could stop there. Might be after like 45 minutes to an hour. Then we're going to go on, we're going to jump on the London to Brighton bike route at that point, because the roads are quite quiet, but they're also quite good driving roads, aren't they, Chris?
It was a good route, mate. It was a good route. Straight
down to Turner's Hill. So if you go, as you're going through Turner's Hill, you go up a slight hill. There's a pub at the top, and there's a big green, and in London to Brighton bike ride, there's normally a big brass band playing. On to Haywards Heath, and then we're going to, when we get into Haywards Heath, keep following signs for ditchling. Obviously, we'll be in convoy, but follow signs for ditchling. And then we're going to go up Ditchling Beacon, which is quite a famous climb from the London to Brighton bike ride. It's quite hard to get up because it's so busy. But right at the top of that Ditchling Beacon, on the right-hand side, is a big donut car park. And I would suggest once you get to the top of Ditchling Beacon, pull into the car park on the right, get yourself parked up, because the views from there are out of this world, aren't they, Chris? The views all the way over the South Downs.
And get some great pictures as well, isn't it?
Great opportunities for the cars up there as well. So once we've had enough of that, then I think we're going to head straight down into Brighton. Now, when people go into Brighton, they tend to head to Madeira Drive, where is the famous place to stop. Now, we haven't got Madeira Drive booked out, because this is not a traditionally organised meet. This is just a few of us doing the run. So instead, we're going to head out to the marina. So get down to Madeira Drive, head out along the coast towards the marina, which is as you head towards Peacehaven, and pull into the marina car park. Now, there you've got all the shops. You've got McDonald's, you've got Asda, you've got, you name it, it's all there. It's a casino there as well if you want to go and lose some money, but don't do that. But there is some nice big white cliffs at the back of the car park. And there's not an awful lot of cars that park there because it's a long way from the shops. But it's ideal for us because we can all park along there, get some pictures of the cliffs, and it'll all look good. Now, if we go in there and there's any problems with the parking or the car park's full, if we come out of there and we go to this postcode down the bottom, which is literally about 200 yards down the road further, it's a car park for walkers, it's called. It sounds a bit dodgy to me, but it's a car park for walkers. Now, my brother lives in Peacehaven, and he said this car park, there's never anything parked in it, and there's room for about 50 to 60 cars, he reckons, there, so we should get parked fine. So if Asda is busy, we're going to go here. So that's the route. So I reckon it's probably going to take us a couple of hours to get down there, so we're probably going to be down in the south coast, maybe after a bit of stopping, maybe after 2.5 hours, so maybe about 11:30, 12 o'clock, we're going to be down there. So I think if you are looking to meet us in Brighton, I reckon we're going to be down there maybe about 11:30, 12 o'clock at Asda car park. So if you want to go straight there, that's where you want to head. Hopefully that's all up.
Have you got any ideas of numbers yet?
Well, we've got
it's hard to gauge, really.
It is, because a lot of people have said they're going to come along, and or I'm going to try and get along. But it seems to be quite popular. I think it's maybe not be as many as we had for Ockham, but I might be wrong. But I think we probably have up to about 50 cars.
And the good one is, if it rains, it doesn't really matter.
No, unless
I know it's not as nice, but you're in the car, and it's going to stop at some point, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So, I'll be there regardless, anyway. So.
I think it's going to be a good run.
Yeah, there'll definitely be 3. Depending on what the weather's like, I might bring the Roadster. It'd be nice to get the wind in your hair as you.
Yeah, I'm going to bring the Mark 1.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be done, isn't it?
Yeah.
What spares we bringing? We spare sharing.
Who's bringing coils? Who bring coil packs up?
That was my first question.
Might be my code reader, and that's about it. Do you know, I've started to put a spare wheel in the 3.2 now. So rather than the hassle of like breaking down and filling it full of fluid at the side of the road, for these sort of meets, just take a spare wheel, and then it's
I recommend it.
Yeah,
having done it in Germany. So with this being in mind, guys, now we have introduced a calendar. It's a Google calendar. It's on the website, theparrotbros.co.uk, if you've never been there. It's embedded on the first page, and it's going to be like a month on month. You can flick through the months, and we're going to add stuff to it. All 3 of us have access to add, remove, edit. I haven't mentioned to these guys, but I think it's also worth putting like attending, and then we'll put our names underneath it if we intend to go, just in case anyone wants to catch up with us. If it doesn't say our names, then it's just because the likelihood is there might be some TTs there, but we may not be attending. I didn't want anyone to come in the hope that they might bend our ear about something and we not be there,
Yeah, absolutely.
Sound like a good idea?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, Dom, because there's so many meets going on at the moment, and you know, people. One of the things they always approach me and say, "Are you guys going to the meets?" And we say, "Well, what meets are they?" And it's like, but you say if that calendar's there, if we can tick whether we're going to be in attendance, people know. Because obviously, a lot of people want to either convoy down with us if we're going as well, because obviously we're in 3 different parts of the world, so it helps people know if we're going to be in attendance and if they can jump on the convoy. So now
I also got I get messages saying, "Oh, what's on TT wise this weekend?" And it's like, do you know what I mean? That's why I thought, well, this calendar would be ideal. We can just we can dump stuff, and on the website, right at the bottom, obviously, if you don't have us on socials, you can fill out a form where you just put your name. You don't have to put an email or anything, and just put. Ideally, if you can give us a link, so I don't have to try and search the internet for it, but just put, say, Ockham Bites next weekend, the date. There's going to be some TTs meeting there. Here's the link. You know what I mean? And then I can just put all of that information, drop it into, and anyone clicks on it, it'll give them where, when, who, a link maybe there where they can jump onto the ad and say, yeah, I'm coming, or whatever, which is nice. Yeah.
And I will do one of my what's coming up in September meets videos again. So I did one for August. I had really good feedback on that. So people said, like, people that came to Ockham said, if it wasn't for your video, I wouldn't know it's on. So it's because people have only got you. Like we said before, people are using YouTube as their sort of font of information as such. So if they don't have Facebook, they don't have Instagram, but everyone, as we know, if they're here right now, they've obviously got YouTube. So I will do a summary of the events that are coming up and stick it on the channel for you guys so you know what's coming up. But there seems to be new things popping up on the horizon all the time, which is great. And I think one of the new ones that's popping up is Ockham Bites 2.
Yes, so, nicely led in there. I like
I love my segues.
So tell us about Ockham Bites 2 then.
Yeah, well, I was hoping you would tell me about
Ockham. Okay, yeah, well, so we were so happy with how the first one went, and everyone was like, I've had people saying, I'll come from America if that's on again. Obviously, we can't promise the weather, which does help substantially. But it was a fantastic meet. You got a great spread of cars. Like you can see in the video, we're all having a lovely time. And it is such a popular event. And it being just so chill, it makes sense to do another one. Even if we do them on a sporadic amount of time, like every 2 months, every 3 months or whatever, we can drop some dates going forward so people can make plans to maybe change, not work Sundays, get childcare, whatever, well in advance. So at least then they've got no excuse. I mean, they have that day free ready anyway, so they can come along. And maybe we'll try and get to the point where we are literally wall-to-wall, door-to-door TTs. That'd be very cool.
Yeah, that would be good.
So can you guys remind me the date that we got lined up for that?
16th of October.
16th of October, yep. So it's another Sunday morning, like the previous one was. And obviously we are getting quite close to the, as we get into October, the leaves will be falling from the trees and the ghosts and the ghouls will be coming out. So we thought we would make Ockham Bites 2 Halloween themed. Now, I know there's a couple of TTs out there that tend to do the rounds with skeletons in the car. There's that that Martini car, that Martini. I think it's owned. Oh, who's that guy that owns that one? Matt Walters is it with the Martini car that has the skeletons inside it, and I think also Steve Marchant's got a skeleton in his car as well. So so I'm hoping those skeletons will be in attendance for Ockham Bites 2, and we thought to make it a bit more interesting, we might do a bit of fancy dress, and I'm sure there'll be a prize for the best fancy dress outfit. So I'll be there in my best fancy dress. And you can't turn up and put your fancy dress on when you get there. No. You've got to leave home in your fancy dress. You've got to drive.
We want on the road photos.
Absolutely right. Yeah. So it's going to be fancy dress at Ockham Bites on the.
It's in the calendar.
Exactly. I mean, if what could be better than queuing up for your bacon sandwich dressed up as well
a ghoulie?
Yeah.
A bed sheet with 2 holes in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe 3 holes because you need a bacon roller.
Well, yeah. Wonder where you were going with that from.
That's why I quickly clarified.
Absolutely right. So we've got that one coming up as well, and I think there are a few other ones that are sort of popping up. And I'm hoping that we're going to get up to Hemel and do one of your Saturday morning breakfast meets as well soon, Dom. Because they're
and I guess because we're a tiny bit further north, that there maybe they pull a few more cross countries in. I've actually spoken to a couple of other people as well, because obviously I see different events popping up, little ones. Jules is doing a little one in someone's back garden. There's another one at the Britannia, which is 200 odd mile from me. Another lad is going to do one down in Southampton way. So I'm going to put all of them on there as well. Obviously, with enough
the Addicts
notice,
had one today, didn't they?
They did, It's Dorset in Somerset show, or Dorset in, I think Dorset
Wilkes
show.
and something, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wiltshire and Dorset, was it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get more show ones as well, like where we're going to be attending. There's a show next year called Vorsprung International, which is kind of like Audi's in the Park, which was a great show. We had 140 something TTs. I'll have to check back, but there was a lot. Certainly something we could try and break next year. But if everyone's got the dates for next year's big shows, there's not many. There's Bewley and a couple of others. But it'd be nice if I had them in advance. I mean, I'll quite happily drive 3-4 hours. If we get a hotel the night before, then it's, especially that far in advance, it probably only costs you 40 quid. Yeah. So that's going to be added on there as well. So go check it out. And
I think, Dom, you touched on some of the road trips you've got planned coming up. I think you sort of mentioned that you were going to put those on, and so you could, so people can know where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing, and if they want to jump on and follow you. So if we maybe do a road trip down to Cannes and take the film festival, or the Paris Dakar rally in a TT, or a trip round Kilkenny with Stephen.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean the road trips, for me, road trips make it. I mean, track days are great fun, but it's kind of you thrashing your car somewhat. The road trips are so much nicer. Like if you've watched my Nürburgring video, last year's North Coast 500, wicked. Best thing you can do, get out, use your car, use some roads. There's so many nice roads out there. You just got to find them. There's roads I want to do as well. I've not done. Is it the Romania one, Transylvania Highway that Toby did?
Yes,
and a few others. Things like go through the Alps, I've done Monaco and the Monte Carlo run. That was amazing. So the plan was, I'll put the dates in there. I'll put where we're staying each night, so that people get a rough idea of the map. And if they want to come join, either for a day or 2 or 3, or follow us around, whatever it is, you book yourself into those locations, those dates. Then you're responsible for your own accommodation and everything. I'm not involved in that, because then if you need to cancel, it's just between you and the hotels or whatever directly. But you can obviously tag along without having to really plan a full trip. An itinerary. You've just kind of had to do your accommodation, which is no mean feat really, on booking.com or something like that.
Yeah, I said there's a few meets being spoken about in the chat right now. So guys, now Dom's got the calendar up, let's have the details and get them in that. We'll get them on that calendar as well, so we can advertise your meets that are coming up, because there's lots going on.
Yes, yeah. If you've got any meets, drop me a message on Instagram, Facebook, or on the website. Just with date, like I said, all the information you can possibly give me. I'll stick it all in there. A link to the page if there is one. That'd be cool.
Cool, excellent. So, guys, other than that, what have you got going on at the moment? You got any interesting projects going on?
Got a few parts to put on, which I'm going to go and down the workshop tomorrow to film and do. So that'll be coming out this week. So that's what I've got planned at the moment.
Dom, have you got anything you want to talk about that are coming up? Have you got any that you want to share with us at this stage?
So, I can give some information. So, I'm going to be taking a little bit of a different direction, and this is only brought on because of the Ocon Bikes meet. Because I mean, I'm trying to think how many cars I've got insured now. Is that bad? 5 or 6. And I was chatting with Lawrence, the one with that gorgeous, is it 03 plate, the Avis one that looks factory brand new, and it got me thinking that I'm spending not enough time on just one. You know what I mean? Like, I've got so many cars that I literally just fix whatever breaks, and I don't really fully get to enjoy them. And I'm going to be changing up what I'm doing with the channel, how many cars I have, and all that kind of stuff. So I won't say any more. But I'm going to be working on them, and there's going to be some big stuff going on, but it may not be to the volume that it is at the moment.
Yeah, that's I've the only thing I've really been working on at the moment. I've got a few things I'm working on. I need to do that cable in the boot as well. Get that done quick sharp, because that will fail the MOT, I'm sure, because the rear number plate lights don't work at the moment. Well, they do, but they're held together with a bit of electrical tape and good luck, really, at the moment. I don't think the MOT station will like that. So I think that's something I definitely need to do. But what I did do, you know, those code readers that we got sent, or well, I know say we got sent. Obviously, Dom got a much better one. So I thought I'd do a bit of research into them because there's a lot of people that keep approaching me and saying, "What's a good code reader to get? I need to get a code reader." And it's like, well, how long's a piece of string really? If you want to spend £12-15 and get a nice Bluetooth one that just works and gets you some information to the phone, then that's great. If you want to spend 30 quid for a one that's got a screen attached, does the same sort of job. You want to go spend a little bit more, they do an awful lot more. So interestingly, I've got my little £15 dongle that I thought told me all I needed to know. Chris, when we did it with the OBD2, we knew that it told us a lot more. Oh, hello, young man. Here he is.
Hey.
And yeah, we're all good. How you doing?
Oh, Stephen.
Oh, wow. I'm burnt. That's not
Wow. Is that like what happens when you get one day of sunshine in Ireland?
Yeah, blimey. Oh, there you go. You got to be part of it now. There you go.
So what you're saying is you got bored? Is that what it is?
He obviously had some interesting content to add, so obviously he was getting bored of my story about code readers.
But anyway,
yeah. So my big code reader, which is the one, it's the 500. It's got so many features, I can't believe it. I find out so much about that car I didn't know about. It's amazing. So I'm going to cover it and share it because I think there is a big difference between a code reader a bit higher up the market to the ones that are lower down. But, you know, they do get the basic things out. And it can do a lot more with like the ABS and that sort of thing. So it's all quite cool. But I'm going to cover it in the video this week. Hopefully get it out. It's underway. But every time I tend to film it at night time. And now the nights are getting in a bit, like drawing in a bit. I have a much shorter window to get it filmed. Otherwise, it looks like it's not the same night. So it's I have to wait for the sun to be out a little bit. And I'm holding off the haircut, and so I don't have any continuity errors as well. So
that's why I try and do it all in one day, because otherwise you forget something, or you go to edit and you think.
But it's when I go and edit it, and I've said the same thing about 3 different ways in the same passage, and I think I better chop 2 of those out. That's not great. So tell us about this car show you've been to today, Stephen. Is that Volkswagen or is that Audi today? Right. Had noticed.
Oh, amazing.
Sounds wicked, mate.
Vintage Bounty Castle. That doesn't sound much cop. Is it? What's it made out of? Like pig's bladders or something?
They can't hear Steve. They can't hear Stephen, chaps.
Oh, they can't hear him. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
No.
Oh, what are you doing? No, we can hear you. So what?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Oh no. Oh, maybe them.
Yeah. Can you hear Stephen now, everyone? Can you tell us if you can hear Stephen and his Tales of Car Show? Hopefully you can.
Stephen's not on the live, Andy.
No, he's not. He's not.
That's down to you, Dom. You need to put him on. Dom needs to add you in. You need to put him in scene 1. Yeah, Dom, you're the leader.
Put it open anymore.
Dom's the leader. You got to do the work.
Oh.
So the technical hitch is not my fault. There you go, Stephen. Can you hear Stephen?
You might come in a second. It depends. It's a bit laggy on YouTube. I forgot I was hosting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Stephen.
Because Andy started talking. I was just like, oh, he's here. We're chatting.
Yeah, I can see him on the feed now.
Oh yeah. There you go. Once you're there, we'll know you're in.
Stephen sounds like a poltergeist.
There
Josh
he
was
is.
put down there.
There he is. I can see him.
Hello,
Now. Right.
guys.
Stephen, I don't know what you've been doing this weekend. Maybe you've been to a car show. Would you tell us about your car show you've been to?
Do you want to hear about it or see about it? Look at that!
Look at that tan! Look at that tan!
And the farmer tan to go with it, like.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a squashy.
Yeah, so we hosted Ireland's biggest car show. There was over 1,000 cars all on display, from literally Mark 1 Golf all the way up to Mars Minor and I don't know, everything else in between. There was tractors, cars, motorbikes, I don't know, bouncy castles, everything. So yeah, great show. And I'm the PRO officer, so I have to do all the advertising. So on my channel, there was just like advertising the whole time. It's like, please come, please come. But yeah, we pulled it off, and my phone's literally been buzzing the whole time. People are saying, thanks very much for hosting the show. We had a great time. Everyone was like just replying back. And basically everyone was just giving thumbs up. Like, so we had an overcast day at the start, and then during the evening, then it got sunny. So I'm only partly burnt, so that's okay.
Oh, that's good.
That's amazing. I mean, you couldn't ask for better, really.
No, it was actually. I mean, the only reason I actually got burnt was the car show was over and we had to tidy up. So we were just walking around, pulling up all the poles and those flags, and we have safety points every so often. So there's like fire extinguishers, things like that, and just walking back and forth. And I didn't even notice. So, but yeah,
I mean, it should help next year as well, because obviously everyone will be talking about this year's one for a while, and then when it starts to come around again, oh, do you remember last year? Yeah.
Well, I think maybe the Audi TT club should come over, you know, to the crew on the Sunday, come over to Kilkenny, and you could have a line of all TTs.
I think that sounds a great idea. That could be our chance to go.
Is it bank holiday Monday every?
No, that's the thing.
No,
isn't it?
Today's Sunday.
Oh. Yeah, but tomorrow's bank holiday.
Is it bank holiday weekend? Is that what you're doing on the Sunday? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sunday, but we don't have a bank holiday. So it's.
Oh, you can make it the weekend before next year, then, and we'll all come. Although we clash with Ocken Bites, maybe. Ocken Bites the anniversary.
Ah, you see, yeah.
I'm sure we saw something.
You've got to do Springfest 2023 as well.
Yeah, Springfest. Yeah, well, and we also need to put together that event. I need to speak to Steve as well and put together that event in his field. So like the much bigger Springfest. But I am going to do Springfest at my house next June. I think we're going to do it. I need to arrange a date for it exactly, but I think it's going to be about next June time, probably late June. Summers are really busy, aren't they? That's the thing. It's trying to get all these events in. Yeah. So yeah, so I might bring it forward. I think this year with it being July, it was clashing with people that were about to go away or already on holiday. So I might try and bring it forward to June. So give everyone something to look forward to early summer, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah,
that's the problem with events, isn't it? It is. Yeah. No matter when you do it, there's always going to be someone who can't come, whether it's us, whether it's everyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I try not to do stuff on big holidays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, some bank holidays. I think at the beginning of like the first couple of weeks and in Easter and things like that is always hard.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, anything in the month of end of January and November, we're right.
Yeah, pretty much. No one will have any money, but it's a great time. Yeah.
Nothing new there then for me. But yeah, so you had a good turnout for the show today, then, Stephen.
Yeah.
So, anything that you saw for the first time, maybe that you were not expecting?
Actually, because of COVID and basically no shows have been on. So we've had 2 years of no shows, and now this is the third year that shows are just coming back. And suddenly there's all these projects that people have been working on. I don't have time to finish it. And suddenly there's a worldwide pandemic for 2 years. And people go out to their sheds and actually finish these cars. And there's these cars that no one's ever seen before, or they saw like maybe years ago, and they just disappeared. And they've all suddenly starting to come back out of the woodwork, which is great. Again, in Ireland, the cutoff is 30 years. It has to be 30 years to be vintage. So all these cars that are 27, 28, they just disappear off the roads. They don't exist technically. And suddenly they're all reappearing because they're now hitting 30 years of age and they've been restored for 2 years. And that was really interesting. As far as type of cars, so the motto of the club is anyone that has a motor, if they were happy to display it, they can come in. If you've got a brand new car, there was one guy with a brand new car. He was a Mazda RX something. He came in, and then everything else was vintage. But there was maybe 20-year-old cars as well. So again, the TT would have actually fitted in. It still looks modern, but like it is a 20-year-old car, and it would fit in. So that's what I'm saying. If you are deciding to come to Kilkenny or to Ireland next year, bring on the TTs, because we could have a whole line of TTs.
Yeah. I think that sounds like a good shout. I think we need to sort of plan that. We tend to, when we're sort of planning events in the UK, sort of things that we are all attending.
Yeah.
We tend to get together and say, "Can we all make this date?" And we're all like, "Oh, I can't make that." And it's when we tried to arrange Ockham, didn't we? We sort of said, "Oh, what can we make a date for around there?" And we sort of wrote it down. So that's the same thing. I mean, we did the same thing for Ockham Bites too, which is happening on this. Stephen, I know you were on the chat earlier, but it's on the 16th of October, guys. So make sure you get your Dracula outfit on for that one, guys.
Yeah.
And
get on that ferry, Stephen, and come and join us.
Yeah. There can't be much growing in October, Stephen. Come on, no excuse.
Exactly, there's no excuses.
I know. I have to get ready for Halloween.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
He's got to pick all his pumpkins.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about changing my tyres on my car. You know, I bought those Turanzas because they were cheap, not the budgie. And I don't, when I not that I drive the car hard, but I do find that they're not particularly grippy when I'm putting it under a bit of load. So I have had that discussion on the channel about tyre types, but what are you guys all running in your cars? Is that of interest? And what would you recommend?
Whatever was on the car, that's what I'm still running.
Right. Okay.
Do you know so? I think on the Mark 1, I've actually got Generals, which I believe they're something to do with Continental or something like that. Right. And do you know so? They're actually pretty good. But on the Mark 2, I run Goodyear Super Sports, Eagle F1 Super Sports, which are the nuts. They fucking grip like shit.
Yeah. Do they?
Yeah. They probably won't last long, but they grip.
What's your preference?
Ooh, it's a tough one. So unless you're doing semi-slick, semi-tracks, which you're not probably going to bother. No. I'm a big Michelin guy. Okay. I wanted to try the Goodyears, but I know the PS4S's,
the PS4s are good.
Are mega. I've never had any issues. I mean, I went to the Nürburgring 5s up in the wet. It started snowing, and I still couldn't get it sideways easily. You know what I mean? Like you sort of turn and floor it, and it went where you wanted it to go. So I've got no gripes at all, and they wear well. The comfort and the sound is very low as well, which is very nice.
I think that's the most important thing that people have. They buy cheap tires because they don't want to spend much money, and then they go for a drive and they bring it back to the mechanical. I think all the wheel bearings are after failing in the car. It's like, no, the tires are literally so cheap and crap, or like they're all made in China that your rolling noise is just so loud and it's just been echoed through the car.
No, so I'll tell you something about cheap tires. Right, so on my original Mark 1 I had years and years ago, when I bought that, it came with some cheap Chinese tyres. I could wheel spin that and it was a Quattro, right? So then, I then changed it to put the Michelins on, which I think was like Pilot Sport 2s or 3s back then. I think it was 2s. And you know so? It never wheel spinned again. So yeah, cheap tyres are cheap.
Yeah.
It's the water. As soon as it gets wet, you can pick the good from the bad. You know what I mean?
No,
you just start to lose the front. It's like, oh.
What's your views on Pirellis? Because I've always loved Pirellis. Are they good on the TT, or have you tried them?
I've had Pirellis on a SLK, and I wasn't that impressed.
Okay.
Yeah, I found them quite hard. I'm not great in the wet, but then these could be 10 years old tires. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
could have been 5 years ago, but they were 5 years old, and it's like.
Yeah, I've always had trouble with Pirellis going out of shape. That's the thing with Pirellis I've found. I don't know if this is a soft material, what they are, but they tend to, when I've had them on various cars, I've had that happen on 2 different cars where they've gone out of shape. But that might because they were Fords. But, you know, maybe Fords made tyres go out of shape. I don't know.
I have used Nexans before. I use them on my daily go-getter for going picking up parts. And the good thing with them is they have a lifetime guarantee. So if you get, let's say, for instance, something in the sidewall and it can't be repaired or whatever, if it's 50% used, they'll give you 50% off a new one.
Okay.
Or if it's, in my case, was brand new, had a nail right in the corner. I went back in and they charged me nothing to swap it. So
looking in looking in the chat, we've got a thumbs up for the Pilot Sport 4s, which I'd have thought we would have. Toyo have had a good one, and I love the tread pattern on Toyo tires, but that's another story.
Yeah,
another thumbs up for the Nexon as well. Yeah, Nexon something, a couple of Nexons there. So yeah, so there's a real mixture. It's not like, I was expecting everyone to say Pilot Sport 4, Pilot Sport 4. That was it. But it seems to be there's a lot of preference out there for
They might not have tried them. That's because obviously the cost is quite a big thing as well, isn't it? Yeah. What about Uniroyal Rain Sports? They're very good.
Yeah, I've heard some good things about them.
Middle money.
Yeah, I think they're pretty decent price, aren't they? From what I remember rightly, the Unis Royals, Unistubs, Uniroyals.
They're great, but they do wear. But then obviously, if you use them on, I use them on track, so that's probably why. But yeah, I mean, road wise, they're great. Okay. But then, like the other thing is obviously the weight of the car, isn't it? If you use them on, say, like your X5 you had, Chris.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, they're going to be completely different to a TT, which isn't that heavy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's heavy, but it's not that heavy.
So I got the 20s on the X5 with the 315 rear tires, 275s on the front, and I did have the Toyos proxies on there first of all. They lasted about a year and a half, and then they were pretty much gone. And then I put the Goodyear Eagle F1 3s, I think it's got, and it's got the proper like SUV sort of tire on them. And I think I've done about 2.5 years on those already. And I reckon I'll get another year out of them yet.
Right. Nice. Is that just because you took the lead out of your foot, so you're like less like the car?
Recent fuel hike. Yeah.
Right. So the thing with the X5 is, right, it's such a big lump. It's a tank, right? And obviously it's a 4x4. Mate, I drive that like I drive the TT. And it just goes around the corner absolutely perfect. It's got the air ride suspension. Off you go around the corner, happy days. I've even thought about doing a video of doing a track day in the X5 for a laugh. But no,
that'd be good.
I thought that would be funny, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
And, but no, the X5's cool with it, but it's still about its issues. But nah, that's the day you just cruise around in that until it blows up. I think it's about 190,000 miles at the moment.
So you don't really drive your TTs then as dailies at all?
No, I go sometimes weeks without driving them.
Do you know what? I have.
I've always got one out the front now.
Yeah.
And the other one's around the back on trolleys on jack stands.
Yes, yeah, one's always down the workshop.
I tend to use it for taking it to going to work now. So I've got a company car, and the tyres were bald on it until last week. So I've been using it for going backwards and forwards to work, and I'm a bit like, should I put some miles on the silver one, bring it up a little bit because this has hit 80,000, or should I go in the 3.2 and just keep chucking miles on it? It's very hard to choose between the two of them, but which one to take out, and I was thinking, and probably a question for the people in the chat actually. So if you had a choice between, say you had let's say you had $3,000 to spend. We talked about this, didn't we, in the week, guys? But a question, a question. If you got $3,000 to spend, you can get an ultra low 180, or like a decent mileage 225, or a nice 3.2. What would you choose out of those three cars? So an ultra low mileage 180. So it's pristine condition, or a average 225, or a 3.2. What would you have?
225 in a stage 1 map.
That's the thing, yeah. So, but say your 225's got, I don't know, maybe it's pushing over 100,000 miles, let's say, and
go for 150. So it's not a life, but it's still
okay.
Life,
So 150 miles, and your 180's got 45,000 on the clock.
And the V6 has got bodywork damage, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Who's the
all about the same price range, right?
Yeah. So guys in the chat, what's your preference? What would you go for?
Andy, you should explain. Are you the ex-owner?
What does that difference make?
Well, like the silver one has some dodgy paintwork at the back.
No, it hasn't got some dodgy paintwork. It's got a lot of dodgy paintwork.
And he's just dropping me WhatsApps telling me to take Stephen off the chat.
If I do that, I can't see him. There you go.
Yeah, where's the button?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, ultra low 180. Yeah, as they are less common than the 225. Yeah, there's not an awful lot of love out there for the 180, and I don't know why. Because I know if you map it and you can make some pretty good performance increases and get it up to almost 225 level, can't you? I think, or standard 225 level, near enough.
The argument is, if you're going to buy a 180 and map it, you may as well just buy a 225, which is stock. Arguably, going to make the same power without having to map it and without having to take it away from being standard, because obviously then you start to introduce problems. But I think people need to drive all of them because they do have their place, especially the front wheel drive ones, because they feel rapid.
I was going to say, so that's the rumor that the 2-wheel drive 180 is as quick as the 225 Quattro. So is that true? True or false? Myth?
It's an interesting one, because technically they should weigh less.
Yeah, and also they've got the KO3 turbo, which is obviously a smaller turbo than the 225, but it does spool up quicker.
Yeah, it's less
lag.
laggy.
What we need to do is need to get hold of one and a 225 and a 3.2 and have a little
Santa pod, here we come.
Yeah.
Usually, I think you need to do different things as well, don't you? Like road trip. What's it like on a road trip?
Yeah.
I don't. Obviously, a 1.8 turbo is a 1.8 turbo. Yeah, there's a slightly different performance, but a lot of people say to me, "Oh, I've had it before where people buy TTs and they just bought a TT because they just assumed they're all the same, and didn't realize it was a 180 or it was front wheel drive 180 or 190 or 163 or 150 or whatever the million and one things that's not a 225. And then they're like, did I buy the wrong one? It's like, well, if you're not going to map it, are you going to notice the difference between 180 and 225? Because the 180 is very punchy, very spooly, and it feels just as quick. It's nippy. You know what I mean? Unless you're on the motorway caning it, doing a drop down, you probably wouldn't notice that much because the 225 is really laggy.
What about a 150?
A what?
I've never driven a 150.
You're not?
No. Shall I buy one? I mean, I'm not buying any more cars.
And normally, the 150s you normally spot are normally like a really sort of like a magnolia colour. With a magnolia roast, there's normally a 150. That seems to be a common. I don't think it is classed as magnolia, but it looks like it's magnolia. The colour I'm thinking of, it's like a beigey sort of. I've seen a few of them around. I don't know the official Audi colour, so I'm going with magnolia. Don't see many of them meets though.
What Mark ones?
Yeah, it's sort of like a creamy sort of beigey colour.
Is it metallic, like a silver, but with a tinge of gold in, or?
Or is it flat?
Yeah, it's not flat. It's definitely metallic. It's like and it's almost got like the one I've seen, and it's almost got like the hoods. Maybe it's not a standard hood, but it's got almost like a browny hood on it as well, which is very unusual. It's the one I've seen. You
need to chase them with a card.
Yeah,
I did. I did see one I did see one in traffic yesterday on the M25, and I nearly
followed it home.
I need to get good at those card tricks where you can throw.
It just lands in their window.
Yeah. So I'll throw enough cards at it, one will stick. Yeah, that's good.
So what have we got here then? What's the feedback? There's a lot of 225s.
Yeah, I see that. Well, we expect that.
It's hard, isn't it? Because let's be fair. You're going to go for the one that's got the best performance most of the time. The 3.2 you buy solely because you want to have the windows down and drive through tunnels all day.
Yeah.
But the 225s, that's why there is so many of them. And everyone buys a 180, puts a 225 exhaust on to have it that look, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, so I've sold the blue one, the one that I brought to Ockenbites.
Oh, okay.
Oh, have you?
It hasn't gone yet. It's still sat on my driveway. The one with the tan interior.
Yeah.
And the guy went to me, "Oh, it's only a 180," and I was like, "No." And I was like, "Why did you say that?" Because I was interested then. And he's gone, "Oh, you haven't got the washer jets." And I went, "You've watched my video." He literally looked at me. He walked around the back and he went, "Oh, it's got a twin exhaust." And he got underneath and he's like, "Open the bonnet." And I was really interested actually. I found that. Because he just associated the headlight washers with the fact that it's a 180, you know, or not being the 225. But then I showed him as a 225, which just had a different bumper fit. Because some people prefer the smooth, because they don't work half the time anyway. So
Well, I've got a video on that.
That was actually the very first video I watched of you, by Andy.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
You call them aliens or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, the aliens. They are. They're aliens.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
I've never heard them being called aliens, but
Well,
I was like, okay.
That's where I'd seen them in all the forums. People talk about the washer aliens.
Mine are in a box.
Are they?
Yeah, might have been taken out in the box to get the front mount in.
Ah.
But the front mount's getting changed anyway because I'm going to put a welly cooler in and get rid of that gravity piece of shit. And I'm going to keep the pipe work.
You're not feeling the gravity then, no?
No, because the core on the intercooler is crap, but the pipe work's really nice. So what I'm going to do is get the welly cooler and then just get the silicon pipes that reduces down onto that pipe work. And then happy days.
Yeah, we tried to get Gravity on, didn't we, to have a chat one night, which I'd like to do. They said they were too busy at the time and they wouldn't come on. But I know that Chris had some feedback you'd like to pass on to
I gave some feedback on a few things.
Yeah,
I know it was advice. I advised them how they can make things, but I even sent them pictures of what a tube and fin core on an intercooler should look like. And they didn't really seem that interested.
Oh, is that the one that Badger put the picture up, which is like a solid block, and then it just had like
five. Yeah, that's exactly what mine's got on it, Dom. It's got to go. It's got to go.
The cooling is horrific.
It's probably worse than standard. So, like, obviously, just getting the welly cooler on there, obviously a better intercooler. I've only got to buy it. What's that? 120 quid, 130 quid just for the cooler.
I think you can get it for less than 100.
Yeah,
they're about 100.
Yeah, and obviously just get those couple of silicon pipes, which I watched on your video of the ones reduced down, which I think will go onto my pipe work.
Yeah, you can buy straights, you can buy whatever.
So I've got all the pipe work going in. I just literally need the silicon hoses that come off the intercooler into my pipe work.
What a lovely little community we've got on here. Stephen's watching my videos. Chris is watching Don's videos. It's very community.
Andy, I did watch your watches.
Okay, yeah.
Because I did watch it because when I was doing mine, because I realised that my aliens didn't work when I first got my Mark 1. So then I typed in about it, and actually your video does come like pretty much up straight away.
Oh yeah,
I'm very, very
have to look at Andy's wording.
Well, do you know what? Oh yeah, do you want my meta tags? But I was very impressed with Dom's video last week with his tan interior.
Yes.
That was
he done a well good job of that.
Yeah, that's amazing, Dom. I know I said it to you at Ockham Bites, and your dad was very much like, have you seen Dom's interior? I was like, oh, I'm going to look at that. And I was like, wow, yeah, that's amazing. So he was more proud than you are.
I was kind of ushering people over. I was like, oh, what do you think of my new interior? And they were like, I didn't know they made it in tan. It's lovely. Yeah, and I said, I painted that. They went, what?
Yeah.
You painted what? I was like, the seats.
That's like when I got there, Dom. You went like, oh, go. What do you think of that interior? I went over, oh, you changed the interior in it. You went, no, I sprayed that. I went, what?
Yeah, it was like,
just like,
you can't tell. You cannot tell on that.
No, you've done a well good job on that, mate.
Yeah, no, I was very impressed. I was actually going to bring that up in the conversation. Like, I was watching because I have a set of white leather seats. I have a Corrado, and I just want black. And because like no one wants white leather seats, so I was like watching your video, going, I wonder. I was like, I must do that.
Yeah, blacks. I mean, black's the sweetest color anyway, because you can just literally do you know what I mean? Just cover it and it not worry too much. But yeah, the white. I've got the white in mind, and I did for the first 6 months. I was like washing my hands just before I went and got in the car, even if I was clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like my steering wheels are white, which
because I think I watched that video. And I was seeing you get in and out, and like you're doing like works in the garage. Like, yeah, that would not survive with me. Like, if it just be, I wouldn't even have to dye it. There'd just be black everywhere on it.
Just farm dust and hay down the sun. Yeah.
So how do you now it's set that colour, Dom? Do you find there's any sort of like colour on your clothes or anything, or is it just literally steadfast? There's no.
Mate, it goes off 20 like
really
10, 15 minutes. Once it's gone off, mate, it's done.
So you've got nothing. You haven't got any like
no t-shirts with prints on the back.
No, I thought you might have well, like a tan like Stephen's got. He must have red leather seats in his car.
So Josh has got a gravity part here. So Josh Mason's got the gravity charge pipe, the same as the one that I had, and he said he would have sent it back if he wasn't an engineer, and he's obviously had to do some alterations to it.
So mine came off, and it's in a box as well.
Yeah, and I see there that Russell said about he was told you need deep pockets through a 3.2, and Peter's followed that with you need deep pockets for all of them. Yeah, I don't think that's just limited to 3.2s. But yeah,
130 quid for a welly cooler is now. That's what Jamie's put. What else we got there?
Someone's just bought their first TT 2 weeks ago as well. Very happy with the 1.8.
Welcome.
Good to know.
It's all downhill from here. I mean, welcome.
You have another one by the time the year's out.
Yeah. Jump into our messages. I'll teach you how to do it.
Your TTs are a bit like a revolving door, though, Dom. The blue one came and it went, and it came and it went, and then there's a
the problem is I buy them with all good intentions, and then the red one I've not really driven since we got back from the ring, which was a month ago, and it's like that's my favorite one of, right. You know what I mean? And then it's like because you just drive whatever's new. The newest one's the most exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the one with the more petrol in it, like.
Yeah, they've all got petrol in it. It's just which one works usually. Walk outside. I've gone to the garage and with a set of keys, and I'm like, oh, this one's. And I've got the bonnet up, and because I make sure if something's broken, I'll leave something on the driver's seat, so you physically can't just get in and go bang. And yeah, I got in and I went, no, not today.
Oh, and he's gone.
Hi, Andy.
Oh no, I was just having a little blast of my inhaler off camera, but then I'll be back 1 second, guys.
Yeah, no worries, pal. So
we can talk about him now.
Yeah, Andy Wilson's put any updates on the London to Brighton run? Yes, mate. We were talking about that earlier. We've got a bit of an itinerary which I will update. We're going to be rolling out at 9 a.m. From the location on the calendar. If you want to find the calendar, it's on the Parrot Bros. .co.uk, main page, big calendar. We're still in August. You have to click next month and you'll see it there. It's got all the the times where we're meeting, where we're going to be stopping, rough times of where we're going to be getting to Brighton, and all that kind of stuff, including postcodes. So go check that out. I think that covers that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've covered most of the meets that are coming up, haven't we? So
yeah. Jamie's mine says 0
and we've got Ockham Bites on the 16th of October as well.
Yep, that's in the calendar.
That's all in the calendar. So basically, go on to Dom's the Parrot Bros website, and in the events calendar there, it's got events coming up.
If you've got a Google account, you can actually add our calendar to your calendars, so it will just automatically populate into the thing there.
Someone's just mentioned about my glasses. I see in the chat. The glasses are part of me, Russell. The glasses are part of me, and the glasses are synonymous. So, but if you're interested, drop me a little private message, Russell, and I'll see what I can sort out.
Does Dom and Chris have a set?
Chris has got some. Dom, I don't know if you've got a set. I have to sort your pair.
I have not.
Chris has got some.
We'll have to do it next time with all of us wearing the glasses.
I'm sending you both a pair of glasses.
Does that mean that when I come back from car shows, I'll just have white here?
yeah.
Coming the old panda eyes.
Yeah. I've not seen one of those. Have you seen one of those Irish red pandas?
Oh gosh.
Right. Guys, I'm going to have to shoot off in a minute. I've had a call to come in. I've got to go and do some bits. So I know it's been great speaking to you all. I know this is a bit of an impromptu one tonight, anyway. So, but yeah, it's
Sorry about that, guys.
Thanks for all jumping on. So I'm going to give Dom a 101 in live faces.
We may test it.
We'll do a test during the week. Do a test during the week.
That's what we did last time. So we'll do that. I think we'll hammer this out and we'll get it right, and then we'll jump on Dom's channel next time. But as always, thanks for watching. See you soon. Take care, guys. You want to say goodbye?
See you later,
everyone.
Thanks all. Have a great evening.
We'll see you in London.
Yeah, don't forget, we are going to be at Ockham Bites. No,
we're not.
Wandsworth next. Wandsworth next on the 10th September, and then 16th of October, we're in Ockham. So take care, everybody. See you soon.